Located 4701 Banana Drive, Motown, Texas. Molina neighborhood.
Welcome to the Volo podcast, home of the black sheep and the outcast. Welcome to the Volo podcast, no cap, true stories, what you know about that? Welcome to the Volo podcast, home of the black sheep and the outcast. Welcome to the Volo podcast, no cap, true stories, what you know about that?
Welcome back to the Volo. I'm your host, ElVago. To the side of me, I have Jesus Hernandez from Corpus Christi Originals sitting in with us today.
What's going on, yeah?
We also have the Iceman today with us again. And then today we're here to interview one of my carnales, Wicked One. He's a cool dude, man. I haven't seen him in a while, man. Last time I seen you as well when Spanky Loco was here.
Yeah, when we were over there getting tatted up.
Yeah, man.
That's right.
It's
good to be here, guys. How y'all doing?
Man. Yeah, man. How you been, carnal? You been good?
Yeah, I've been real good.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
life's good. You know, can't complain right now. Well,
Yeah.
I could, but who would listen, right?
Yeah. Been jamming your music, man. Today. I'm really impressed, bro. Like,
Thank you.
It's really, really good, man.
I appreciate.
I'm picky when it comes to rap, bro. You know what I mean?
Hey, I'm the same way, you
Yeah.
know, and like I told you, I feel like my album it really didn't get the attention that it deserves. So
Yeah.
we're definitely, you know, you enjoyed it, and hope
hell
everybody
yeah,
else
man.
will too, and we just
That,
get it out there like that.
Better Days, man. That's my favorite song right now.
Oh
From
man,
your album, man.
thank
really
you. I
love that song.
appreciate it.
Hell
That,
yeah.
that song right there, it was very special to me. So
Yeah.
you know, it means a lot.
It was
Well,
about your brother, right?
Yeah, it was about my brother. I wrote a letter to my brother.
Yeah.
So we turned it into a song, me and my sister, and she's the one on the hook.
Yeah, man.
So it came out good. You know what I mean? And every song to me, you know, I like the whole album because I wrote it, right? And it means a lot to me. It's from the heart. So
Yeah, man. Fuck yeah, man.
I definitely wrote it for myself, and you know, kind of like what you call therapy, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully the people enjoy it, and I know a lot of people will relate to it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh,
So
hell yeah, man.
it's real music. So thank you, man. I appreciate you
Yeah,
jamming it out for real.
Yeah. One thing I want to say real quick, I want to apologize to everybody. Saturday we had 2 episodes, and we couldn't air live on Facebook because my personal Facebook got flagged whatever for a post from 2020, and I couldn't go live for 3 days or anything. So I apologize for that, man. I hope it doesn't happen again because it really sucked.
You in the Facebook jail?
Oh yeah, man. Fucking, I was in the Facebook yarda, fool.
I heard about that. Like I'm new to the Facebook. Like literally, I have not had Facebook since like 2011. You know, it's been that long. So
Yeah, man. One of my customers had messaged me and I got pissed. I couldn't answer back. It said that, you can't. And then what it said for child sex exploitation. I'm like, what the fuck? That ain't me. I started looking at whatever. And it was a post from 2020. Is this little kid, he's grabbing the sides of his underwear like that. And it said, I lied. I don't have Netflix. You know what I mean? I got flagged for that.
Wow.
So I guess somebody either reported me or I don't know what happened, bro. But I was like, ching. I was like, I can't do nothing.
Oh
hey,
man,
man, I thought Facebook was really, really strict when I got on it because I got banned like the first day.
No shit.
Yeah, the first day.
Damn.
And I was like,
What'd you post?
I didn't post anything. Like, what did I post? I think I updated my profile picture to my album and to my album cover.
Say he's sexy for this, ban his ass.
and I was like, well, they had me submit like my ID and all that stuff, proving that it was me, and and after that it was good to go. But I was like, wow, man,
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah. But ideally, I didn't want to mess with Facebook for personal reasons.
Yeah.
But like I said, when I went on Facebook, everybody's like, hey, is that you? Is that really you? Is it a real page? And I'm like, yeah, it's me.
Yeah.
So I had to make a little video letting everybody know that it was me on the Facebook because it's a big platform, and in order to push the music out like the way I want to,
You got to do it.
I got to do it.
I had your brother on there, and I thought it was you the whole time. Fool.
Really?
Yeah.
Mike?
Yeah. I said, man, motherfucker don't answer me back.
Everybody says that, that he looks like me.
Yeah.
Well, I look like him, right? And I'm like, no, he looks like me. I'm the older brother, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
But yeah, that's my little brother, Mike. Shout out to Mike Wayne.
Yeah, he's good people. I love him.
absolutely.
He's good
Absolutely.
people, man. Chino 818, he says, Kivo Carnales.
You Chino. Good to see you, my boy.
Yeah, I had Chino here Saturday, man. It sucked,
I
dude.
saw
We
that, man.
We couldn't go live on
We were
Facebook.
actually in the studio recording my boy Sweep, right?
Yeah.
He just got out of prison also, doing 7.5 years. Yeah, shout out to Sweep. He's doing very well, and we have him in the studio. I got my own little crew of guys that I work with that record great music.
Yeah.
So that's what I surround myself is nothing but positive people that want to do things right, and don't build an aura of negative energy around me, because I don't need that and I don't want it, and I'll just push it to the side.
There's plenty of that shit everywhere, man.
But not around me. I get rid of it.
I recognize you from the Iron Compound.
Yeah. I trained there.
Oh, you still train the cool?
No, I haven't trained there in a while, but that's where I started training in the beginning, in my workout journey.
Yeah.
It started when one of my friends opened that gym up, and I wasn't ready to go work out at the time, you know what I mean? So I was like, you know what, I'm not going to go to your gym. I'm lifting weights with all these big guys and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So me and my wife, we were working out there at the house and did our own thing until I felt like, you know what, I can probably keep up with these guys a little bit.
You don't go there and do a little sissy weight.
You know what I mean? I was like,
they're lifting crazy weight over there.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. You see me there?
I seen them lift. I follow the owner. What's his name?
D-Boy.
The Hulk.
The Hulk. Yeah. That's D-Boy.
And dude, like 45-pound plates on the side of the barbell. Oh my god.
No, at my heaviest, I was able to accomplish some big weight. I was lifting 618 off the ground. I was benching 430, 550 squat, and those are on the USPA charts. You know what I mean? Because we went and did it professionally. The Powerlifting Association. I went ahead and signed up for it, and I hit some numbers. It was a goal that I had within myself.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, it was fun, man, and I stayed on it. Me and my wife, we work out. I got my own gym, and we still do it to this day.
Yeah. I did it for a while también, man. My highest bench was 455. Deadlift was 605 and squat was 550.
Those are great numbers, dude.
Yeah, and I'm short as fuck, so I was all proud of it. You know what I mean?
It's impressive.
I had big guys tell me, "Oh, because you ain't got to go that far up." I said, man, you're bigger than me, man. Like you got more ground to stand on. I don't, man.
I mean, it's definitely like music and lifting weights. I mean, people have to find certain ways and certain things to occupy their mind and to do things that are not going to get them in trouble. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like weights to me was like lifting the world off of me. You know what I'm saying? Like it hurts. It hurts. But when you get it up and you push it off of you, you feel accomplished. You know what I mean? So it definitely helps me out in my journey of life, and I love doing it.
Is it as far as like lifting weights? Is it like a different story, like when you're in, like in prison or whatever? Because y'all lift and stuff like that.
Well, I've never been to prison, so now you're judging.
Okay. Sorry. I thought that's the only guts you had on you, bro.
Hey, but you know what? That's all right, because in the world that we live in, unfortunately, I get that a lot. And I've never been to prison, and I'm proud to say that. You know what I mean? Because it's not an accomplishment, and it's not something that you get credit for in life. In my book, you know what I mean? Of course, there's a lot of people that look at it differently, but I'm not like them. I'm different, and I move different, and I act different, and I do things different. So my mentality is different. But I was incarcerated as a kid, as a juvenile. You know what I mean? I went to TYC, the Texas Youth Commission, and I feel like that place right there, is prison for kids. You know what I mean? We were behind chain link fence, barbed wire, wore orange jumpsuits, got strip searched, got shackled. You got beat by the guards. People were getting stabbed. Some raped. So I mean, it was a lot of it was prison for kids. Yeah. So I went to prison for kids. That's where I went. When I was younger.
Anthony Salazar says he's lying. Alex is lying. Is there any witness? Hell yeah, I got witnesses, man. your son, James McMebbin, fucking Silent, David Martinez, are witnesses, cabron.
Oh yeah. Are they all on there? Those are all the.
They'll be on there in a minute. They'll jump on.
Okay, there. MG Sweep. Oh, there's my boy Sweep right there. Shout out to Wicked One, ElVagoburger. Oh, remember I took him to go eat at your spot?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's him. That's him. So that's Sweep right there. He's really good on the microphone.
Yeah.
I hope one day we could get him on here as well. Yeah, hey, Tia. That's my Tia Elaine right there. Love you.
So, where you from, man?
I'm from Corpus Christi, Corpus Christi, Texas. This is pretty much where, I've spent a lot of my time, but I'm from all over as far as, living with different people and stuff. I got family in Florida. I lived in Florida. I lived in San Antonio, just as a kid, just bounced around from home to home. Didn't really have a stable home, as you could say, you know what I mean? But, I've been everywhere, but this is pretty much where, my roots are, right here in Corpus Christi, born 1980.
What schools did you go to here?
I went to Winshill Middle School. I went to Winshill Middle School on the east side, born and raised on the east side of Corpus Christi, Riggin Street. Baldwin across town. Yeah, that's the area I'm at. 18, 17, 16th Street, Elizabeth, Cloyd. That's all my neighborhood right there. So that's where I'm at. I went to T.G. Allen Elementary. Went to Winslow Middle School, which was my high school, by the way, because that's when I got sent to TYC.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all my memories that I remember were from middle school, because, when you get locked up right around, those memories are all you have left.
That's all you have.
That's it.
And that's what you live by.
So you relive those memories every single day. Like I told my wife, right? We went to school together, me and my wife, in middle school. And I told her I thought about her all the time, because it was facts, because she was part of that circle of people that I was, around. So that's all I had in my mind at the moment, were all those people that I left behind in middle school, because like I said, that was my high school. I had good times there playing football and basketball. Yeah, man, it was fun.
Yeah, life's a trip, man. One day you're doing one thing, next day it changes, man.
I mean, like I said, I was born in 1980, here in Corpus Christi, Texas. My parents are from here, from America, from Corpus. My mom, I think, was born in Tennessee. My biological father, I'm not too sure. Maybe here. I don't know.
Wow.
But, we grew up here. We grew up in a Pentecostal home. Yeah. So I went to church. I was telling you why I love music, because I've always been surrounded by music. If you're not familiar with Pentecostals, you know what I mean? It's like going to a conjunto every single church service. You know what I mean?
Every day of the week.
Every day of the week, bro. You jamming out live instruments. And we had to sing. You know what I mean? Like, we had to sing. Wow. They say, pasan los niños a cantar, right? So that means the kids come up and sing, right? Yeah. So we'd line up and all of us had to sing a song, man, every time we went to church. Yeah. So I grew up around music my whole life, and I love music. Music played a big part of my life, you know what I mean? It's weird because my wife freaks out because I'll remember things of my childhood and the moment that it happened just by hearing a song. Yeah. Because that's how I lived. Because even though I was poor and didn't have nothing, I had music. Yeah. And I always had it in here and in my heart, you know what I mean? Like, I always felt like they were writing those songs about me.
Yeah. You've been doing music for a while though, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, since the early 90s. Even when I was in TYC, I was writing. I've always wrote. Like, ever since I could remember. Like, I was in elementary school, and my teacher used to tell me, she's like, hey, write in your journal. We were all going to write in journals. And so we write journals, right? And she's like, look, I'm going to tell you guys something. I know everybody goes through stuff in school, so go ahead and write down something that only I'll be the only one to read it. So I started writing to her, you know what I mean? And she would always tell me, like, man, you're real good. And believe it or not, I stayed with that, man. I always wrote, and I can write, like I can express myself through writing and stuff. It's not hard at all for me. Like, it just comes naturally. You put on a beat and I'll tell you a story. You know what I mean? And that's just the way my music is. Yeah. But ever since I can remember, that's what I like to do. I like to write and talk about, my life.
Okay. Do you write the music
I
also?
do.
Or you write the music and the lyrics?
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's hard to do, man.
Yeah, I do all that, man. I mean, to me, it's personal. You know what I mean? Like, I never wanted to be like anybody else. You know what I mean? I just wanted to be comfortable in my own skin, and I wanted to be who I wanted to be. And I know that I wanted to be a leader, because and just to backtrack on my childhood, right? Like, I was really, really poor. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't have nothing. Like, I was borrowing clothes from people, you know what I mean? I didn't have nothing fancy, you know what I mean? Like, for Christmas, I guess, like the typical poor Mexican family, we got underwears and socks for Christmas. Hell yeah. I think the favorite part of Christmas was the stocking with all the fruit and and all the nueces, you know what I mean? The pecans and stuff like that. The old school netted ones. Yeah, that's what I was excited
with
about.
the old lady candy in there with the raisin and the withers, whatever.
Exactly, bro.
The little strawberry one. Like, where the fuck do they buy that anyway?
I don't even know.
I never see it for sale at stores. I'm like, where the hell they get this?
I think she found it one time. But, and if we did get a present, it was for all of us. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's for all.
You gotta share. You gotta share.
Exactly, man. I mean, and just to let y'all know, I mean, we were really poor. Yeah. And that's just how it went for me. You know what I mean? So sometimes, there wasn't a lot of food to eat. You know what I mean? So I remember me and my brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? Sometimes they'd be like, "Well, I'm not hungry today." Well, I'll take that piece of chicken. What you gonna do for it? You gonna wash the dishes? You wanna do this? I'll clean the room. You're gonna clean the living room. Yeah, I'll do it. Let me have that. You know what I mean? Because hey, bro, it wasn't a buffet. You know what I'm saying? In those days, you know, and that's what I always say. Like these kids are spoiled, right? Because they can choose what they want to eat. My wife makes me dinner, and my son wants to go eat his own little meal, right? It's like, heck no, man. You're gonna eat what we make you, and that's it. Like that's how it was.
My kids are spoiled like that, though.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
But you know what, though? Oh, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead.
They got to the point where we ate out so much they beg for home food. I don't eat that. I don't eat it. It's sad when little kids don't want McDonald's. I don't want that shit.
Dude, I don't like McDonald's. I don't mess with. I try not to mess with too much fast food. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. I mean, it was definitely rough for me. You know, at a young age. You know, I had a brother and sister that died in a house fire. I was about 3 years old. Yeah, here in Corpus Christi. You know, my brother and my sister, Monica and Lázaro, they passed away in a house fire. It was quite a few of us in there, and I survived. You know, so it started off rough. I guess that's what you could say started just a down spiral of the relationship between my parents, right? Yeah. And things didn't go right after that. You know, and I guess who suffers the most, right, during relationships? Yeah, the kids, us. You know what I mean? And that's how it went for me. You know, so that led me to be living with a bunch of different people and ending up in places where I shouldn't have been at, doing things that I shouldn't have been doing. But, you know, getting back to TYC, I think when I went to TYC, in order to get out of there, you have to do things the way they want you to do them. Yeah. For example, say I went in there and I'm talking funny, jive, right? That's the word? You talk jive? Like when the kids talk like say man, I'm talking about man and all that funny stuff.
Slang.
Yeah, I guess jive, slang, whatever. Well, they come off the streets talking like that, and they make you go back to the way you used to talk when you lived at home with your parents. Yeah. Because that's not how you talk. Yeah. Right? So when you in TYC, you go there talking like that, the only way you're gonna get out is if you start talking right. No, you start talking normal. You're not going to get out of TYC talking like that. That's why a lot of people from my generation, they know what time it is. If they went over there, you know, imitating that sound and talking, you know, they're like, you ain't on the block. You talk right. Yeah. You know, you're going to go to school, and when you go to the school, they're going to teach you how to speak English. That ain't English what you're talking. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, you know, you had to do what they told you to do. You know, you had to talk about your crime every day. You have to admit your wrongs. You have to take responsibility for your actions. A lot of those things that I live by today, you know what I mean, that I teach my kids, you know, because I feel like I learned a lot there and spent a lot of time there away from my family, far, far away, you know. Yeah. I was in Brownwood, Texas, and not too long ago, I took my wife out there. We were out there doing a competition for weightlifting because I was a power lifter for a while. So we were out there doing a competition in Coleman, Texas, right? Maybe it was in Coleman. And I didn't even realize I was so close to freaking Brownwood, Texas. I hadn't been there since I was a kid. Like, I was incarcerated there many times. And I was like, I never thought I'd be there again. Yeah. And I was like, wait a minute, we're in Brownwood? So I took her to the facility where I was at, where I thought about her. You know what I mean? Where I spent Christmases and saw snow for the first time. And
how long were you there?
For the first time in Brownwood, I was there for about a year. Yeah. Yeah, man. And it's a 90-day program, so you you know what I'm saying? That's how it goes. Like if you say you got 90 days in Brownwood, 90 days, right? That's nothing, right? That's 3 months. But when you get there, you're already talking funny, right? You're already being disrespectful. Well, there you go. Now your time don't start for a week. Well, that's your punishment. And then if it really gets crazy, bro, they send you to security. Your time won't start for a month. Damn. And keep on running your mouth. I'll give you another month. So now I got 2 months. Now I got 3 months before my time even starts.
So they put you in your place,
bro. I'm serious. Like TYC back then was different, and I feel like they had the resocialization program is what they called it. And you know, fortunately, my little brother went there, Isaac, and it was different. Because like the staff, they started being very violent. They were violent when I was there, but they started getting out of hand because the kids started getting out of hand. You know what I mean? The kids just got more gangster and more crazier. So, you know, the staff they wanted to go home. So they you know, they're a lot bigger than us, right? Can you imagine me working in a facility like that, the way I look, putting a whooping on these boys? You know what I mean? Like, that's what they were doing.
Do you think that's what kids need today, though?
I mean, I don't think that they need to be abused like that.
No, but I'm talking about like
the reforming. Yeah, the resocialization program, absolutely. Because it helped me. And I'm here to vouch for it. You know what I mean? And I'm grateful for it. I really am, bro. Like, I really am, because it taught me a lot of things. Taught me thinking errors. It taught me how to take responsibility for your actions. Yeah. First and foremost. You know, if you ever want to be different in life, you got to take responsibility for your actions. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what they did over there.
Yeah, I
Because
think
you can't get out.
yeah,
You're not gonna get out.
I really think a lot of kids need more like guidance.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean, from people that's been through it, because you know more about that life, and
Yeah.
kids just need to listen
And I
to
think when I got out of TYC that, I might have started off on the wrong foot, right? Being locked up and then getting back with a lot of my friends that were not mentally there like I was.
it. Yeah,
But I still tried to lace them up and try to school them and show them love. You know what I mean? Like I had genuine love for my brothers,
Yeah.
all my friends around me. Like I loved them because I knew what it was like, to be that person that they are right then and there. Like we didn't have nothing, bro. We were just broke ass kids, trying to scrounge pennies for 3 for $5. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? We were just broke and poor.
yeah.
All we had was each other, and we try to protect each other from other people.
Yeah.
Because there's always going to be those people that want to, cause problems for you and put you in situations that you don't want to be in.
Yeah.
But
Annalisa Rio says they need their parents to stop making excuses to be accountable, disciplined. Yeah, that's true.
no, and you know what? That is very, very true. That is very, very true, because at the end of the day, who's raising your kids?
Yeah.
I remember one time when I was in front of the judge as a juvenile, he says, Mr. Salcedo, who's going to raise your kids when you have kids? He goes, because if it ain't you, it's going to be me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that stuff sunk with me, bro. Like a lot of the things that I experienced when I was going through all that stuff, like it stays with me forever.
Yeah.
Forever. Like I remember like it was yesterday. It's like, if you ain't going to raise your kids, I am.
Yeah.
And that hurts, bro.
And hey, but that's badass, man. You had a very, very mature mind at that time, because me, I would have been, man, fuck this vodka.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
just being stupid. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And now that I'm older, I'm like, what the fuck why would I say something like that? I go,
Well, my thing was always is, bro, is like, when I do have my kid, right? Because I'm young at that moment, right? And I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like, who am I gonna be? Like seriously though, because I had already lived a not so healthy life, right? So it's now it's on me, and I'm gonna tell you a true story right now. Is that I remember when my firstborn was gonna be born, right? Roberto Eliazar Salcedo, that's my firstborn. I remember when I found out his mom was pregnant. I stood in front of the mirror and I said, man, what are you going to do? I was at that point in time, I was 18 years old. I was doing cocaine. I was doing, a lot of different drugs that I shouldn't have been doing, because at a young age, I was sipping 40s. You know what I mean? I was out there just living a weird life that I should have been living. I was growing up too quick, right?
yeah.
Doing things that a 13-year-old, 11-year-old shouldn't be doing, but I wasn't the only one doing it. There was a bunch of girls that were doing the same thing. There was a bunch of boys doing the same thing, but we were all the same age. You know what I mean? We were all the same age, and we were all just allowed to do whatever we wanted, run wild in the streets. And, their parents, they didn't care where they were at. And my parents really didn't give it, they didn't care what I was doing or whatever. They're doing what they had to do, right? But that's how we were growing up in the neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
So when I found out, I was like, man, what are you going to do? Who's going to put food in your refrigerator? Who's going to feed that boy? Who's going to put clothes on him? Like, it's on me now.
Time to grow up.
Exactly, bro. And I really did. Like, I had to do something. So I went to work. I remember like my first job was at Popeye's Chicken right there on freaking Galahar.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends worked there too. So I learned how to make chicken. I was real good at it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And biscuits and all of that. So I know how to make good Popeye's chicken.
Yeah. And then the homeboys hit you up, hey, carnal, let me rob
They
it,
were
fool."
there with me.
Oh, gee.
They were there working with me, bro. We all worked at the Popeye's Chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, Popeye's Chicken was one of my first jobs. And, but I started getting money.
Yeah.
I started getting money and I was still, and this was after the fact that I went through all the issues with TYC, right?
Yeah.
But, I had to get to work. So that's what I did. And then the next job that I came across was at the port. I was able to get a job at the port at Interstate Grain.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, man, that was cool. I was a real operator, right? I guess. So there was this big old hydraulic machine that you would hook up under the trains, press a button, like it had a pico, right? So you pull it on there and then it would open up the hopper of the train and let all the grain out. And I had a radio and be like, move south, move north, whatever, you know what I mean? And he would move up, okay, stop. And I would just drop the grain. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool, man.
That's badass, man.
Yeah. So I had that gig, you know what I mean? And I just went to work, man. I think my son was probably like, No more than 3 months when I got my own crib.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
was like, I'm not
badass,
gonna
man.
live with my mom, man, and have a girl and a baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I had to go.
Man, I wish I was smart like you, man. I was the complete opposite, man. I feel bad sometimes, bro, because my two oldest kids, like, I wasn't really there for them. I didn't raise them. I was stupid doing a bunch of dumb shit. You know what I mean?
You know, a lot of people went that route, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But that was one thing about me, man. Like I've never left my kid's side.
That's badass.
I saw every one of them take their first breath in life, and I've been in their lives ever since. Like I could not ever imagine being that person. You know what I mean? And just not be there. Like getting in a conflict with their mom and being like, see you later. Like that was never me.
Yeah, I did that shit, bro.
I never did that.
I
Like,
did that. I ain't gonna
and
lie
I'm
to
proud
you.
of that because
Yeah.
I love my kids, man. Like they're everything to me because that was me. Like that's my seed, right? That's my legacy. So they're all I got, man. You know what I mean?
Do you think that they'll see that I guess that sacrifice that you made?
Oh, they know that they tell me all the time. My kids, they're grown now. You know what I mean? And they love their dad and they respect their dad. You know, because I've done so much that you don't even know yet. You know, I'm getting to that. Like I've done so much in my life because, you know, everybody wants to focus on bad stuff, right? But in my life, I don't want to focus on none of that stuff. I don't want that energy. The only energy that I want is good energy. So moving forward, right, it started with me getting a job. It started with me knowing that I had to take care of my kids, you know, my son. And like I was going to be in his life and I was going to be somebody that he was going to be proud of. I'm not going to be a dope fiend. I'm not going to be a freaking drug addict. I'm not going to do none of that. You know, I didn't want that for him. You know what I mean? So went to work, started just trying to get money. I had my own place. Next thing you know, I mean, one day, bro, I decided that I want to go to college.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So my uncle had a mechanic shop and Eric's Auto Repair. So I'm there. I don't know if you're familiar with the Bonds. They paint cars. They're over there off of Buford and Port. He's been there forever, bro.
Is that the ones that have like the old lowrider cars and stuff? Too?
Well, they paint everybody's
I
cars,
think
right?
so.
Right,
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there in
yeah.
the hood. Well, my uncle's shop was right across the street from him. It was called Eric's Auto Computer, right? Eric's Auto Repair. And he did all the computer diagnostics and stuff like that. He was real known. So, you know, I always liked tinkling with cars too myself. So I was like, you know what? I'll go see my uncle. And he'd be like, hey, you know, one day he was like, hey, I want you to go to school. I was like, for what? Why can't I just go to work here with you? And he's like, and he points up to the piece of paper on the wall. He goes, that's why. And I said, well, what's that going to do? He goes, that's why we charge what we charge. He goes, so when you have that piece of paper, yours is going to be right there. And that's why we're going to charge that money. And I was like, I dig it. All right. So, bro, I'm poor again, right? So I take advantage of the financial aid, all the grants that I was, you know, able to get, you know what I mean, from being poor.
Yeah.
And they paid for my college. So I got all my certificates, passed all my classes. All my professors were extremely proud of me, you know what I mean? Because I would show up in my lowrider, bro, to freaking school, you know what I mean? And then bringing, you know, hitting switches, and it was really cool, man. But, you know, they definitely guided me through my whole journey and, you know, taught me a lot of things. They would let me bring my family members' cars and work on them and stuff like that at Del Mar College. Shout out to Del Mar, you know what I mean? I really think that that's a great school, and they offer great programs for people, you know, that they just need to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
You know, because it's here in our city, man, and
And a lot of people don't know.
Bro, it's grown so much since I graduated from there. You know, I graduated with my certificates, right? So I had all my certificates, every one of them in the automotive program. And then they tell me, they're like, Robert, what are you going to do, you know, when you get older? You're going to turn wrenches your whole life? And I said, yeah. They're like, well, you're going to get older and your hands are going to hurt. You know what I mean? I wasn't thinking about that. I'm in my freaking 20s, right? I'm the strongest person in the world.
You're invincible.
You know what I mean? I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm good. And they're like, no, man, you know, you could be a teacher. You could be here like me. You know, look at me. I'm older now. You know, I still like working on cars, but my own car.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to be under a car and, you know, making money that way anymore. Now I'm here teaching you how to do it. He's like, you could do that. And I was all like, really? He's like, yeah, man. He goes, look, stay in school, get your degree. We'll pay for it. And you'll be able to use that degree to get better jobs. And you could work here even. And I was like, all right, man. You know, I was all like, whatever. You know, to me, school wasn't never hard. It wasn't hard for me. So, bro, I believe it or not, I stayed in school. I got my associate's degree in automotive technology and aced it, man. I made the dean's list.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I impressed all my professors, and life goes on
That's
from there,
badass,
man. Yeah, it was pretty cool, man.
Something to be proud of.
I'm very proud of it.
Hell
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, where's that at, baby? Let's show them. Let's show them this. You know, in life, you got to be proud of your accomplishments and promote the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because we all come from rough neighborhoods, right? Most of us. We all come from bad childhoods.
That's fucking badass.
See that?
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's me right there.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's real. It's not Photoshop, guys. You know, because nowadays you can Photoshop anything, and you know, and you could, you know.
Yeah. Didn't I see you in Office Depot earlier?
and that's my hat. In 2005 is when I got my degree. My wife made this for me.
Nice.
So that's my gown and everything like that.
That's
Awesome.
badass, bro.
But yeah, man, I'm very proud of that, and they're on my wall and all my certificates and everything like that. You know what I mean? So I always told my friends, you know, once I had my own shop, because I was able to get my own shop. You know, everybody wants money, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, can you loan me $20? I'm like, oh yeah, I got you, man. I'll be at work at 6 o'clock in the morning. Come on by, and I'll show you how to do an oil change. What? Like what? Like really? Like you can't just give me $20? I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna give you $20, man.
Who the hell gives you $20, right?
You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta, bro. This is the thing that I never understood, guys. It's like, why do I gotta work an hour, right? How much did we get paid an hour back then? $6, $5?
I know, not even. Like about $5 an
You
hour.
know, even right now, I'm not ashamed to say I'm making like $23 an hour right now, right? So I'm making $23 an hour for my labor for 1 hour of my life. And you want me to give you $20 of that just because you're asking for it? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, why can't you get up and go to work?
Yeah, that's true, man.
Why can't? And then I'm trying to, you know, it's funny because they say, right, I want to teach you how to fish so that you can catch your own fish. No, they don't want to learn how to fish. They just want you to give them the fish.
Wow.
And I'm over here like, bro, come to my shop.
Yeah.
I'll show you how to do an oil change. And I'll even employ them. You know what I mean? Now you can do my oil changes, man. Now you can have money.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to put in the work, man. Nothing comes easy.
Yeah, that shit gets my nerves when somebody does that shit where they have an opportunity to get a job. Oh man, they're only paying like $10 an hour. I'd rather stay home for that. Like, dude, you're gonna stay home and not get shit.
Nothing.
You know what I mean? Like, you got to start from everybody starts from the bottom.
Absolutely.
You know, you can't get a job and be like, oh, I want $30, $40 an hour, and you don't know shit. You know what I mean?
Bro,
Like,
it's not gonna happen. You know, and the one thing about that is like nobody wants to put in the work.
yeah.
You know, you got to start at the bottom. My wife started at the bottom. I started at the bottom, and now we're comfortably doing things that are paying us well.
How did you learn that when you work you make money? Like, how did you learn that? Did somebody teach you that, or did you learn by seeing somebody? Like, how did you know that money came from work?
I saw. Okay, so my stepdad, right? He's the one who raised me. He raised me. Once all that stuff happened with my brother and sisters that died in the fire, my mom moved to Florida to get away from my biological father. So I hear. So we're out there in Florida, and she ends up meeting my stepdad. You know, I'm a little kid. You know what I mean? So when I was in Florida, believe it or not, in the 80s, I was out there working in the fields.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was pulling weeds. I was cutting fern. You know, my families were migrant workers. So when we went to Florida, that's what they were doing. They were chasing the crop. But in the 80s, they had that big freeze in Florida. So all the orange groves, they're destroyed. But there's fern. I don't know if you're familiar with fern, but it's the green leaf. They call it the leather leaf, but it's inside of the roses, bouquets. And whenever you buy roses and you see that one plant that's like green, and,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's
Right on. Yeah.
they use it to fill in the bouquets, right? Well, that's what we cut over there in Florida. They cut everything, bro. Like everything that goes inside of your bouquets, like they're cutting them out there. Like even the moss that grows on the trees, believe it or not, my uncles used to go over there and get it off the trees and put it in trash bags and sell it. Yeah, and then they ship it out and it goes to your Hobby Lobbies and all that stuff.
How old were you at when you were working there?
6 years old.
Oh.
Yep. I grew up in an era, bro, where people were racist, you know, like we were segregated over there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man. Like I remember as a kid, like the Ku Klux Klan would come and we would have to leave town. You know what I mean? Like my little town that I was living in, we like my elementary school. I took my wife over there, right, so she can, you know, check it all out and stuff like that. We go to Florida every year, so
Yeah.
that's my spot. But my school was like the school. How can I describe it? Like we had a bell that you go ring like that in the morning. You know what I'm saying? It was white and it looked like the the typical old school from like what, baby, like the 1700s.
Missions.
Yeah, like that. That was my elementary school. So you know that's how it was out there. It was just a small town. To this day they don't got an HEB or nothing like that. You know what I mean? It's just nothing out there, right? I think they got a Winn-Dixie, right? That's what we call it, the Winn-Dixie. But yeah, man, we worked in fields. I saw my family work. Me and my cousins, shout out to all my primos in Florida, you know what I'm saying? Over there in El Barrio Mamey, you know, over there in Kings Court, you know what I'm saying? That's where we from. In Crescent City, Florida, Seville, Florida. You know, that's where we're at. And, you know, we all worked in the fields together. We were cutting fern. You know, when we went to school, all our hands were cut up. They were all cut up. And we worked for all the white kids. We worked for their parents, and they're the ones that rode horses around us and had all the cool stuff.
Their parents were the KKK.
And I don't know. Hey, I couldn't. Hey, honestly, I couldn't tell you because they had hoods on.
You should have called the Iceman, dude. He runs them out of town.
I run them out of town, bro.
Hey, man, they had.
I
Those
call them
hoods
the
on.
Cuckoo Clan.
Hey, they are. Hey, they were the cuckoo to us, bro. Because we would be posted up in like a hotel, and it would be like 30 of us in there. Now, seriously, man, like I was scared, man. I was scared a lot as a kid. You know, I really was, and being out there in the middle of nowhere and in the woods and not having much. And it was really scary. But yeah, to answer your question, my whole family, they've been working to get money to feed us. And that's how I knew that you needed money to survive. Because when you don't have money, you didn't have food. You didn't have light. You didn't have water. And that's what we went through. You know what I mean? We didn't have light. We didn't have water. We didn't have food. You know, or we would all get together and put our resources together, right? Our my tias and my tios. And all of us would get together and then we would all eat together. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you know, I saw them always working. They were always working. My uncle, Eddie, you know, at Eric's Auto Repair, he was a worker, you know what I mean? And just being in the neighborhood, just seeing people, different people. Man, I look up to my elders. Yeah. Like I always talk to the elders and I always wanted to pick their brains. You know what I mean? Like what did they do and stuff like that. To me, that was something that I love to do, and even to this day.
To this day, like, you know, all indigenous people, man, they respect the elders. Yep. They take care of the women and children, you know.
Absolutely.
And those children are elders of tomorrow.
Yep.
So what you're doing with your children, guide them in the right position.
Yep.
They're gonna be taking care of you later.
Oh, I know it, you know, and then that's how it is right now. Like my kids, thank God, you know what I mean. They didn't live nothing like me. Yeah. You know, they didn't. At all. That's always a plus. You know what I'm saying? Because, and this is what I had told Alex, guys. It's like, there's some things in my life that I refuse to speak on. You know what I mean? Because I don't glorify things like that. And I didn't even talk about it to my kids. You know what I mean? Because I don't want them to feel like, oh, you did that, Dad? That's cool. Like, no, it's not cool. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that I refuse to put in their little minds. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like disciplining your kids and teaching them the right way, you could do all that without trying to, you know, glorify certain things and make yourself look a certain type of way. You know what I mean? Like, there's too much of that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's been there, done that, whatever, man. Skip all that nonsense and just try to teach them to do right from wrong, because your job as parents is just to love your kids. Yeah. To love them, teach them right from wrong. Are they going to mess up? Heck yeah, bro. My kids mess up all the time. But you know what? They know right from wrong, bro. And that's because of me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I make mistakes. You make mistakes. We all make mistakes every day.
Did you ever have to discipline them?
Absolutely. Yeah. Like when they were little, I disciplined them. I was abused as a kid. Like I was definitely abused. Yeah. Like big time, bro. Like I remember being put on fichas, you know what I'm saying? Like bottle caps. I would have to kneel down on bottle caps. And my aunt, she would freaking duct tape my mouth. She would put freaking cover my eyes up, you know what I mean? She was just a mean old lady, dude. Like she really was. And we got it bad, man. Me and my brothers and sisters, I always felt like we were a burden to a lot of people, which sucks, man, because it wasn't our fault. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And if you didn't want that responsibility, then you shouldn't have just left us alone, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's how I look at it. But when it came down to discipline, me learning how to discipline was not abusing my kids. Yeah, so I would give them licks on their butt, 3 of them, 3 licks. You know what I mean? But I felt like at that moment, like it bothered me to even do that. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, hey, you're going to be in trouble. Then I started putting them in the corner. So I tried to figure out ways to get my point across without using violence, I guess. You know, even like physical discipline. You know what I'm saying? Because I was disciplined in school. Remember when they used to paddle us? So I didn't.
Wow.
And that's what the courts would always say. Like, you need to discipline your kids. Okay, so we're gonna discipline them. We're not gonna abuse them. Yeah. There's two different words, and that's what people need to understand. The raza needs to understand that. Like, you cursing at your kids and telling them all kinds of bad stuff and pushing them and all that, that's abuse. You're not disciplining your kids doing that. You're abusing them.
Yeah, it's like when we discipline our kids, the discipline that we learned from our parents, that's how we did want to discipline our kids.
Exactly.
So it's like, how do you find, I guess, better ways of disciplining your kids,
And that's where this comes in, right? The way times change is like, you put them in the corner, you give them at the very most 3 licks. And, you don't want to give them more than that. You know what I mean? You're not trying to freaking, like, where they can't walk. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. You're spanking them. You know what I mean? There's a difference. You know what I'm saying? Making them go to bed early. When they come home, they want to play, outside. Now you can't play outside. You disciplining your kids and telling them but you got to tell them what they did wrong. You got to tell them what they did wrong and tell them, like, look, man, you don't want to be doing this because this is what's going to happen. And I think that's what happens a lot in life. You have to tell people, like, and even as you, like, when you went to prison and stuff, right? Like, if somebody, hey, man, you keep doing that, you're going to go to prison. Like, people put you in situations as kids, and they're not going to sit there and tell you, hey, if you get in this car with us right now because we're about to go do something bad, you're going to go to prison. They're not telling you none of that. They're just like, are you going to come or not? What's up? You scared?
Yeah, don't be a pussy.
Yeah, exactly. Dominoes. What's up? You riding for us or not? You know what I mean? Ain't nobody going to sit there and tell you, hey, man, you could probably lose your life tonight or you end up in prison. Yeah. Ain't nobody telling you none of that. You know what I'm saying? So all these people that are out there teaching their kids how to weigh grams and bust gats, that's one of my lyrics. I don't have any respect for you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? At all. And if you listen to my music, I'm talking about you. And if you don't like it, we'll change your ways.
Speaking about lyrics, I was going to ask you, of all your music that you've been putting together, what's your most powerful message that you love, enjoy sharing with others?
Oh, man. Like, I quote so many of my lyrics, just like I did right now. I feel like my message and my presence and delivering what I want them to understand, that your past don't define you. You know what I'm saying? Like, the things that you go through as a child, living where you don't have a choice. And these are all lyrics, right? Being forced to live, where you don't have a choice. As kids, we dream of better days, of course, you know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, we can't pick where we're living. We can't pick what we're going to eat. But as an adult, who's in charge of me now?
Yeah, but the big thing is, man, we don't have to live it.
But that's what I'm saying, though.
Choose it.
But at that moment, we feel like we don't have any other choice but to do bad. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you do have a choice. So now I have to change my mentality and start looking out for my brothers, which is my circle. Because all my big homeboys are just trying to destroy us.
Yeah, that's true, man.
You know what I'm saying? That's all they were trying to do, was destroy us and lead us on the path to destruction and to create chaos and to have us putting in work for things that didn't even concern us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I going to go get involved in this situation because this guy went and beat this guy's sister, right? Yeah. For example.
Yeah.
So, he's a homeboy, so now I got to go and after the guy that beat him up, which had legitimate reasons to do it.
Yeah.
But because you're telling me I got to go do it, if not, you know what I mean? It's like, man, you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, I had to stand up for myself. Yeah. And move different, because I'm sick and tired of people trying to, tell people what to do, and it's going to affect their lives negatively.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My most powerful lyrics are all of them, because I write from the heart, and everything that I write about, I mean it. You know what I'm saying? So just listen to my music, and it's powerful. It really is. It means a lot, because it delivers a message, because I want people to know that not to be afraid to speak on your real feelings. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the guy that listens to Debbie Gibson, bro. Why are you listening to that for, right? Why are you listening to Mariah Carey? Well, because I want to, because I like it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I listening to the oldies? Because I love the music. I love the feeling of real music. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to, be like you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm supposed to feel a certain type of way because you telling me because I'm listening to Mariah Carey or Boyz II Men or Jodeci or all the music that I grew up listening to. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I just don't care. You know what I mean? And that's how I carry myself.
And that's powerful though, bro. Because a lot of people can't do that. They gotta rather follow the crowd.
Yeah, that's not me.
You know? Yeah,
that is not me. I'm not gonna follow the crowd, and I'm not gonna talk like them, and I'm not gonna be like them, and I'm just gonna be like me.
Yeah,
you know, because I want to be a good example to my kids.
Yeah, our cultura needs a change, man.
I agree.
It needs a change, bro.
But it starts with everybody doing what they got to do. Unfortunately, people don't want to do that because they're blaming everything around them.
Yeah.
It's because of this. It's because of that. Well, it's because I was, I was beat. I was molested, or I was raped, or I was this, I was that.
So like making excuses
exactly
to not like change or
exactly. And they're gonna live on that. And and I'm telling you the truth because it's happening in my own circle, right? People that I know and that you know.
Yeah, same.
Like they're not gonna move anywhere. They're gonna blame their entire downfall on that one incident.
Oh wow.
And on their parents. I have a friend like that, man, that we always argue about that because he does stuff and it's like he doesn't progress with his life. It's like he's in one spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He goes, well, this is the way my dad raised me. I said, well, then why you got to be like that? Just because that's the way your dad raised you? Like, look at your dad. He's a fucking loser. That's what you want to be, man. You got to break the family curse and better yourself, man.
That's
so your
right.
kids can see that and then they can come up and you're not doing the same circle. Like, oh, well, my dad raised me. I have to be like that.
Yeah, man. I can't stand that. Like,
I don't understand it.
Like I say, teaching the kids how to weigh grams and butts, gats.
Yeah.
Bragging how you put vatos on their back. Escuela taught you till you admit that. Pointed in the wrong direction, por favor, stress that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. That's how I spit. You know what I mean? And those are the things that I preach. You know what I mean? Because it's stupid. And I see it every day.
Yeah.
They're putting their kids in there, putting a rag on him and, naming them a gang name, you know what I'm saying? And calling them a gang name. And it's just like, man, bro, you need to behave with that, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But all I could do is live the way I live. And unfortunately, I'm outnumbered.
Yeah.
And I don't care, man. Like, I don't watch the news. I don't listen to the radio. Mm-hmm. I listen to the oldie station. I listen to 80s music. I listen to Mariah Carey, Backstreet Boys.
Even the Christmas?
All of it. All of it.
I can't do the Christmas, man.
I listen to the Christmas.
It's coming, bro.
Let me tell you something.
Whether you
Christmas
like it or
is
not.
my favorite holiday, man.
He likes Halloween.
Christmas is my favorite holiday. My favorite Halloween. It's my favorite holiday because of the vibe, man.
Yeah.
The Christmas tree. My wife, we get a real Christmas tree and we decorate the house and it smells so good. And, my kids come over and, we're living in a different time right now, man. My kids are grown now. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a woman for a daughter. She's about to have a baby, right?
Yeah.
And in December 23rd, that's gonna
badass,
be, the first baby. We have a grandson already. He's a year old. But, this is my daughter, because me and my wife, we both have kids.
Uh-huh.
We got together in 2011. She had kids and I had kids.
Yeah.
So we have a total of 11 kids, guys.
I'll let you know.
Yeah. We have a big
I
family.
hate to see the Happy Meal bill.
Christmas, bro.
Supposed to be cheap.
Hey, bro.
Hey, but you know what though? Me and my wife both work. My wife works at the hospital. You know what I mean? I have multiple businesses. I have my record label Under the Sun Entertainment. I have Cuvo Homes, because I'm a Chicano, so I have to name my business Cuvo Homes, which I'm a Section 8 landlord.
It is a stupid question. What does that mean?
Cuvo Homes?
Yeah.
Like
Cubo.
Like, what's
Cubo.
up?
Like what's up? Like what's going on?
What's up, Cubo? Or you can use it like, Cubo, you know what I'm saying? It's a Chicano term.
Wow.
So Homes is what? When they call you Holmes in Chicano, it's like, hey, what's up, Holmes? Right? Have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's so. Gee, I'm putting it together. Like Kivo Homes is the name of your business. Yeah.
Because I rent out houses
To play on words like homes. Yeah.
Because that's my style. You know what I'm saying? I'm about that. So I named my business Cubo Homes, and I got the Automaniacs, which is my mechanic business, and I work on cars whenever I feel like it now. I invested my money in real estate, and you know what I mean? And I think that we're doing pretty good with that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I had to start thinking about my future, like my professor said. I can't turn wrenches my whole life.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're going to grow old and my hands did start hurting. Like, I've never felt pain like that. Because a lot of times in mechanic work, you don't see what you're doing. You're just under the car and you're twisting bolts and stuff like that. Bro, my hands are
like arthritis, arthritis.
It's bad, man. It's bad. So, but you know what I'm saying? I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm good. My wife works. We're a team. You know what I'm saying? I always feel like I tell these couples too, man. I go, if y'all want to move up in life, both y'all got to get down. You know what I'm saying? It can't just be one person. You know what I mean? Like that's facts. You know, if you know, my dad always told me you're never gonna come up knowing how much you get paid every week. You know what I mean? So I'm an entrepreneur. I do a lot of things, different hustles. I move around. I sell merchandise. You know what I mean? I do whatever. I go on OfferUp. I buy stuff and I'll sell it for more money.
Yeah.
You know, I do whatever I got to do to make $1.
That's smart, bro.
Legally.
That's badass.
Legally.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, I feel like, you know, a lot of us don't do enough.
Yeah.
You know, I know we're tired and stuff like that. Look, I just got out of work, guys. I've been up since 3:30 in the morning. I worked a 12-hour shift and I came over here from Ingleside. I'm working at the plant over there in Ingleside and drove up, went to my buddy's house, got changed real quick and came over here.
That's bad.
You know, last night we were in San Antonio. We were at the Lolo car show, you know, because I've been performing at a bunch of different car shows lately. So, I mean, in the past month, we've already done like 4 or 5 shows. You know, I was in Del Rio on a Saturday. On a Sunday, we drove that same night. We took off and came back to Corpus and had a show in Corpus at the Bank Center. Then we were in Austin, Texas the next weekend. Then we were in San Antonio, Texas for the Lolo car show. We're going to be in Houston this Sunday. And then we'll be back in San Antonio November the 2nd for the Barrio Muerto show, you know. So we moving. And who knows what's else is going to come up.
Yeah, you never know,
because
man.
they're just hitting me up, bro. Like it's moving with the music and they're hitting me up. They're like, Wicked, we want you to perform. Because I do my set live. And I guess they're digging my message.
Yeah, that's badass, bro. For real,
you know,
man. That's really, really bad.
I'm
very
grateful.
impressive, man.
I'm grateful.
And the more good you put out, the more good's gonna come to you, man.
That's what I tell people.
That's how I learned it.
It's positive energy.
Yeah.
Like. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are reaching out to me, and if I don't want to reach back out to you, it's for a reason.
Yeah.
So take that. You know what I'm saying, and run with it. You know what I mean? Because, bro, we got nothing to talk about. Honestly,
yeah.
If you ain't doing what you got to do, and you just woke up last night and you think that we've been kicking back for the past 10 years, bro, there's something wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? There's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm being real. Don't even look for me, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Move on with your life, man. You know what I mean? We doing good over here, and if you're not doing good, it's because it's your own fault.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't do nothing for you. You know what I mean? I already told you everything you needed to know back then. You know what I'm saying? So if you ain't learned, you ain't gonna learn. My kids learn and they're doing great. My son's working at the plant with me right now. You know what I'm saying? And my kid over there, they all got jobs. They're all doing what they got to do. You know what I'm saying? So if a friend of mine who's the same age as me, or was a friend of mine, right?
Yeah.
An associate, things that I want him around me right now, at this point in my life, around my wife, around my children,
yeah, for real,
man, bro, you better, you got some problems, buddy.
Yeah. I made a rule like that a couple years ago, man, that I wasn't gonna hang out with nobody that was, you know, nobody that was negative anymore.
That's right.
And like, hey, man, I'll be cool with people that are running business, trying to do something better with their lives, to surround myself with that, because you surround yourself with millionaires, you become a millionaire.
That's absolutely right.
And I know everything in life ain't based on money, but if you're doing that, you know, if you're bringing that in, that means you're doing something right.
Yeah.
You're doing something
and
good.
it comes easy, bro.
Yeah,
like it really does. When you're doing things the right way, like money just comes.
Yeah.
Because you're working. You're getting up in the morning and you got a routine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People ask me all the time, like, man, how do you do it, man? How do you work out? I'm just disciplined, man. You know what I'm saying? I didn't wake up like this. It takes a lot of discipline. You have to just keep on doing it. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you why I started working out, why me and my wife did. Because my little brother, Fernando, shout out to him. He's a firefighter in St. Augustine in Florida. He's my baby brother. He was obese.
Yeah.
And he was a firefighter. I could not even believe that they hired him to be a... So where were we at? Like, we're at with the story?
Your brother was a firefighter.
Okay, my brother's a firefighter. And, you know, he's the one who motivated me to start my weightlifting journey and to just get in better shape.
Yeah. Just
to get in better shape. So, you know, I told him, because he was obese, I was like, bro, you're going to kill yourself and you're going to kill somebody else. I said, you got to do something different, man. I go, you got to either stop being a firefighter or do something different. I go, because this ain't going to do nothing. Like, how are you going to save somebody in this shape?
Yeah.
You're going to go into a burning building and you're going to kill yourself and somebody else, right? That's what I told him. So we made a deal, like, okay, bro, I'm going to do something. I don't want to see you on social media. I'm not going to look at him. We're not going to FaceTime, none of that, right? We're not going to do none of that for a whole year, because I go to Florida every single year to visit. Yeah. So when the year come up, right? Are we good?
Yeah, we're good, bro. We're good.
Okay.
They're already commenting.
All
on it.
right.
Yeah.
So on a year later, he tells us, "Hey, I want y'all to come down, and I'm gonna have a boxing match." And we're talking about my little baby brother. This dude's scared of blood, bro.
Yeah.
Like he used to think he was a superhero, right? Like he was just like one of them kids. Oh no, I'm bleeding. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Right. And now he's gonna be in a boxing match. Like, what are you talking about? Are you kidding me right now? Like, are you really serious? It's like, yeah. So it was the battle of the blue, right? Battle of the red and blue.
Red and blue.
Yeah. So
Officers.
yes, the officers and the firefighters.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, no way. So bro, we show up, me and my wife, my son, we go out there, we go to the event, and then we hear the music, and then here he comes out. And I'm just like, I saw my brother and I just started crying, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't even recognize him. He looked
Wow.
so good. He lost, how much weight did he lose, Drake? 135
Another
pounds.
person.
Yeah.
A whole her.
Yeah, I was gonna say he lost a person.
A whole
Another
her.
person. Yeah.
Damn.
Bro, he looked amazing. I cried and I was just like so happy to see him like that. And he made me proud and he won his fight.
Well,
He sure did. And that's what started it. Me and my wife came back to Texas and we started walking on the beach. Because I live right down the street from the beach, literally. I got a beach house and I love it. And, you know, I could build a sand castle outside of my house, you know what I mean? Because it's all sand.
Badass.
You know what I mean? And that's what it is, you know what I'm saying? So we started doing walks on the beach and we started working out at home, buying little weights here and there. And next thing you know, we looking better, we feeling better. Bro, right before COVID hit, I was on OfferUp. I'm the OfferUp king, you know what I'm saying? I was on OfferUp like you guys are on social media.
OfferUp is like what, like a
Where they-
Craigslist or something? Or?
Yeah, kind of like
Okay.
Craigslist. People sell stuff on there all the time. Like it's a whole selling platform.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So I'm on there like religiously. Like even before I go to bed, I'm scanning like, okay, all right, man, I need to go check again, right?
All right.
I'm always looking for the deals, bro. So I was on there and I saw some guy advertising a leg press. You know what a leg press is?
Yeah.
Where you lay down and push the weight up?
Yeah.
Bro, this machine had to have been a couple $1,000s, right?
Yeah.
He only wanted $300.
Wow.
So I was like messaging him, hey, I'll take it. And finally he responded, okay. And he told me where to meet him. So if you're from Corpus, there's a Sam's Club, right? And right across the street, there's a shopping center. I don't know what it's called, but it goes like this. You know, it goes like, there's like a arcade right here and a Chinese or Japanese restaurant. But at the point, that used to be a gym. It was a gym back in the 90s.
Wow.
Yeah, it was an all women's gym and it was called Feminique. So those of y'all ladies that remember that, I know that some people have told me that they worked out there, right? You know, from that era. And I was like, really? That's dope. Like they worked out on my, so they worked out there at that gym. So I went there and to pick up the leg press. And then when I walked in, it was a gym. And I was like, what the heck? I was like, what are you going to do with all this stuff? And he was all like, sell it, get rid of it. And I was like, dang. I was like, well, how much you want for it? He's all like, shoot, I don't know. I didn't think about it. I was like, well, you'll sell pieces of it or whatever. He's like, yeah. And I was like, well, what would make you happy? And he was like, shoot, $3,500 will make me happy. And I'm like, done.
So you bought all of it.
I bought the whole gym for $3,500. My own Freedom Fitness. I'm not lying to you.
That's badass,
Bro,
man.
I bought a whole Freedom Fitness. I had to go rent 3 storage buildings. We took our living room from our house, the back room, filled it all the way up to the 2.5 car garage. So the whole back of the house and into the garage was all weights, plus the 3 storage bins that we had. So, you know, we came up, man. It was a blessing. So fast forward, trying to sell all this stuff, right, that we didn't need. We made all our money back and some.
Yeah.
Like up until like last year, I still made like an extra because I was like, I don't want to get rid of this stuff already. It's in my way. And I sold it for like $1,500, right? But it was worth like maybe like $3,000. You know, I hooked up the guy. But I had a 24 by 40 building built on my property. You know, it got like 15 foot, 16 foot high ceilings. So it's like I got a warehouse on my house.
I seen it on I think on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, my YouTube channel.
Doing like a show. I was watching the shoulder workout. Is that the gym you're talking about? Wow, that's
my
yours.
gym.
Wow.
Yeah, I got my own gym, man. So, you know, that's what we do, you know. I feel like if you're going to be, I was blessed, man. What can I say? But I feel like if you want to do things to better yourself, you got to invest in yourself, man.
Yeah.
You know, like I invested in myself. Like I wanted my craft to get better with my music. So me and my wife, we built a studio. I have my own professional studio there at my house. You know, I bought the equipment that I needed to record my music and to send it to the engineers that know what they're doing with it. You know, they mix and master it and stuff like that. All I know how to do is press record. But I have a Neumann mic, TLM 103, which is a very fancy mic that's in all the professional studios. I have the Avalon 737 preamp, you know what I mean? And I got a nice interface, an Apollo.
Wow.
That's all I need. I record there in my house and I send it to my boy Too Swift in LA, or I send it to Smoke Beats. And they make it sound like
They master it.
Yeah, it's like if I recorded it there at their spot because I got good equipment. You know what I mean? And,
Wow.
and I know how to record. I know how I want my stuff to sound. So I do with that. I do all my vocals there. I save money, right? Because why am I gonna be paying the studio all this money every single time I'm gonna record a song?
do
Like
it
I got
there.
hundreds of songs, bro. You know what I mean?
What YouTube channel is this?
Oh, Wicked One. It's a Wicked One TX, right, baby? What is it? Wicked One TX. Wicked One TX on YouTube. But if you just look up Wicked One Better Days, it'll take you right to my music, because that's the name of my album, Better Days.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, you know, I got my own gym. We work out, and you know, I feel like if you want to do anything in your life, you got to invest in yourself. And unfortunately, because I'm the offer up king, you know, I found the deal. You know what I'm saying? You got to look for the deals, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I did, right?
Yeah.
And it worked out perfect for us. You know, so that's what we
That's
do.
fucking badass, bro. That's so cool, man. Shit.
I got an interesting story, right?
Hell yeah.
And look, this right here, I want to show you guys. Where am I looking? Right here. This is one of our first mixtapes that a lot of people here in Corpus Christi got this from me personally. And this is a mixtape that I recorded in my garage with a lot of these guys on here from the city.
Yeah.
I feel like because of the way I was with my music,
Uh-huh.
I brought out the best in people. They had no choice but to come with the realest music that they ever put on a CD. You know, as soon as they left my garage, I can honestly say their music was trash.
Yeah.
And then this was the song. This was my first album
Nice.
that was put on CD. It was done by the West Coast Soldiers out of California. He had heard my album. It was on Pon Atención. And I named it Heaven Knows after my dad, you know, that got murdered. I didn't tell you about that story, but that's him right there. He was murdered in July 19, 2004 here in Corpus Christi, Texas. I don't know. People that are from here might know that story. He was murdered at the Times Market on Baldwin, you know, by John Henry Ramirez.
Whoa.
He was stabbed 27 times. You know, he was at work and taking out the trash, and they were there to rob the store. And they confronted my dad, and he ended up killing my dad, stabbing him for no reason.
Yeah, bro.
And I actually saw him executed. Me and my wife. It took 19 years, but you know, we went to death row a couple of times, and they pushed it back, and you know, we finally saw him, you know, take his last breath.
Wow.
Nothing to be, you know, proud of. You know, it didn't do nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know, it was a lot harder going through that whole 19 years of watching my dad on the news in a pool of blood. You know, every time they would talk about it every year, bringing it up. You know, it's like, but that's what the media does, bro.
Oh yeah.
You know, they do that type of stuff, and
Put the fear out there.
yeah, you know, that's why I tell you guys, like, I really don't watch the news. It's all negative. You know, it's to me, in my opinion, is designed to make you, you know, brainwash you to go a certain way. You know what I mean? They want you to go. They keep feeding you all this nonsense so that you can start thinking a certain type of way. And I don't want nobody polluting my brain. I'm already weird enough. You know what I'm saying? I don't need them to make me any weirder. You know what I mean? I don't listen to the radio. I listen to my own music. I like 80s music. I like 90s music, 2000s, oldies. Mariah Carey, especially Boyz II Men. Our favorite artist is, you know, one of our favorite artists is Neo. You know what I'm saying? We jam Neo, me and my wife. You know, we dim the lights. But, you know, that's what we do. But I just wanted to show you these albums because, you know, these are my work of art. You know what I'm saying? These are my masterpieces. And, you know, I wrote a song on here. It's called Heaven Knows. And when I wrote this song, my dad was alive, and I got to sing it for him.
Wow.
Because in the first verse, I'm talking about, you know, the negative influence that my biological dad gave. And then in the second verse, I'm talking about the positive influences that he gave me and made me who I was. Because me and my dad, like before he passed, we were already seeing eye to eye. You know what I'm saying? He was my kid's grandfather, and he was a very, very important man in my life. You know what I'm saying? So for him to have heard that song, Heaven Knows, and he really loved it, and he was really happy. He shed a tear about it because I was talking about him. You know, he was really proud of it.
Yeah.
So the rest of the album ended up being a tribute album to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because unfortunately, you know, he was murdered, and that's how it went down. So I dedicated this album to him.
What
Heaven
do you
knows.
think about like songs going to like streaming now instead of like CDs and stuff?
I mean, honestly, man, I think that that's not good because at the end of the day, I'm on streaming platforms, right? They could stream it. Okay, so for 100,000 streams on Spotify, you're gonna make like $400.
God damn, that ain't nothing, man.
100,000 streams,
That doesn't even pay for the studio time.
bro. I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
So if I sold 100,000 of these, the only people that have this are the people that came to my shows. And or when I would go cruise to military in my lowrider on Sundays, jamming Pocos Pero Locos, that's how they would get this from me, and this one too. And to speak on Pocos Pero Locos real quick, you know, I'm gonna tell you, like, no matter how hard you try in life, there's always gonna be people that are not gonna believe in you and they're not gonna give you a chance.
Right.
That Better Days album, I worked really hard on that album, and I spent a lot of money on it. You know what I mean? To get the beats the right way, to just make the quality of it just good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I saved my money and I put it to my music and I invested it. Smoke Beats produced that whole album, and I recorded a lot of that stuff with him as well. And he ain't cheap, you know what I'm saying? Back then, you know what I'm saying? I had to do what I had to do to get it done, and I did. And then when it was done, I was like, this is a good album. Like, I'm listening to Pocos Pero Locos every Sunday.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, bro, there was a lot of stupid music on there.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, and I hit up E-Dub, I hit up Kool-Aid, I hit him up, and I'm like, hey, please play my song. Like, pick any song, you know what I mean? Just give it a shot. I would always email him, like, send him, get on the phone and do whatever I had to do to try to put the music in the whole Chicano movement, man, and nobody gave me a chance.
Yeah, man.
Nobody. You know what I mean? So it kind of discouraged me. You know what I mean? One thing that I told Sweep the other day was that, you know, why I stopped messing around with the music is because a lot of the people that were making music with me, they made it not fun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It just got out of hand and it got stupid and fake, and I'm not one to want to hang around a bunch of fake people. You know what I mean? I don't want to be around a bunch of clowns.
Yeah. No,
You know what I
that's real,
mean?
man.
Like, I couldn't stand being in there writing a song about my life, and then they're over there taking 3 hours to make up some kind of fictional story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like that bothered me. You know, everybody around me, and I'm talking about in this city. You know what I mean? If you sat down with me to write a song, like, come on, man, you know what time it is. Like, I ain't with all that. Look, because I know you. You know what I mean? I know who you are. I know where you come from. You know what I mean? I know your parents. Like, why you even talking like that?
Yeah.
You know, somebody said the other day that they used the N-word to somebody, and they told them, because I don't use the N-word. I come from that generation where I'm a respectful person, right?
Yeah.
There's black people in prison right now because they murdered people over that word. You know what I'm saying? Because that was how serious it was back then. You know, I didn't like being called a wetback or a spick when I was locked up, right?
Yeah.
Nobody did, right? So why am I gonna, if you use that word, it was a bad word. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it stayed with me now to this day. But that's just me. You know, say what you want, talk how you want to talk. I don't care.
Yeah.
Do you, man? But that's just not me. So this guy said the other day that, well, the reason why I use that word is because of where I'm from. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, we're from the same place. Like, we're from the same neighborhood.
Yeah, I don't use that
Like,
word either.
But that's what I'm saying, though. So it was a choice. It's not because of your environment. It's not because of where you grew up, because we grew up in the same place and I don't use it. I mean, you got people wearing dresses. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's because of my environment. Like, I don't wear dresses. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? Like, it's just nonsense, bro. You know, just stop playing with yourself. I think one day what people need to do, man, is they need to look in the mirror and really realize, like, who they are. Because at this age in life, bro, you're over there looking like a freaking weirdo, wearing the clothes that you're wearing, acting the way you're acting, talking the way you're talking, trying to be another race. Like, that's just ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it really is.
I agree with
Like,
that,
some
man.
people are like born in Mexico, bro, and they act like they're freaking black, and they're like they just grew up in Houston.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unfortunately, I was locked up with a lot of Mexicans from Houston, and they just talk funny. You know what I mean? That's just how they talk. And I'm just like, But again, if you went to TYC and you were from Houston and you were talking funny, you didn't leave TYC talking like that. So hey, that means that you had to stop the act.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So whatever. But anyways, you know, my whole thing while I was telling Sweep is that I stopped making music with these people is because they just made it not fun.
Yeah.
You know, my music to me was more serious to me. And I took it serious and it meant a lot to me. So I distanced myself from all of that, from the whole music scene in this city.
Yeah.
I still kept making music. Like right now I got like hundreds of songs, bro.
How old are you, bro?
I'm 43.
43?
Yeah, I'm 43 years old. I got so much music, it ain't even funny, man. But you know, it's in time, you know what I mean? In time you do things, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When it's time, and I think right now is the time.
Yeah, we got Zero Cool from Argentina commenting on here, man.
Argentina.
Yeah, hey, he makes beats, bro. He makes Chino's beats.
Hey, check it out, man. So I got my girl Marlene. She's from Argentina, Castellana. Shout out to her. You know, that's something that I got going on right now.
Yeah.
Like she just sent me her track. Like I got an artist from Argentina.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yes,
She
man.
wanted to work with me. She's a Selena fan and she just heard my music and she's like, you know what? Let's do something.
Yeah. Zero Cool, man. That dude makes some badass beats,
Really?
bro. I was listening to. There's one song that
What's his name? Where's he at?
Zero Cool. He's right at the bottom.
Zero Cool,
Yeah.
Argentina. Shout out to Argentina. Man, Zero Cool, do you know Castellana? Well, we're going to be making a song with her. Firme abrazo para el Wicked. Great episode, Vago. Cubo. Shout out to all of y'all that are tuned in. I appreciate y'all for coming by and, you know, taking the time out of your day to hear my story. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, man.
I got a lot to tell you guys.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it could go on and on. You know what I mean? But, you know, when you have so many things and ambitions in life, like you just sit here and talk for hours,
Yeah.
man. You know what I mean? About life and the things that you went through and what you want to do. You know what I mean? Like I got a lot of goals, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not done.
My homeboy Pedro Gonzalez, he's the one that did the second episode. He wanted to meet you.
Oh, Pedro. Hey,
Yeah.
man, let's link up, man. Be blessed, brother. Igualmente. My boy MG Sweet. There he is right there. You know, he's got a great story, man.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, absolutely. You know,
Yeah, we'll get him on here.
he's definitely somebody that I love dearly.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? And him being in prison for so long and just being out, you know what I mean? Right now, of course, you were locked up for all them years, so you know what it's like. And, you know, he's so humbled right now, man. And, you know, I tell him all the time, like, oh, and by the way, guys, I am sober. Like, I'm 12 years sober. I don't drink, do drugs, or smoke, anything. You know
That's
what I mean?
badass,
Like,
man.
that's just how I live. You know what I mean? Like, I just move different, man. I'm really happy about how I get down. You know, I love my wife and I respect her, and you know, and we have a great life together. We love to travel and do a lot of cool stuff
That's
together.
badass, man. It's good to live a beautiful life, man.
Absolutely.
You know, get rid of all the problems that you really don't fucking need. You know
don't,
what I mean?
you don't,
Yeah.
bro. It's like you're making problems, right, for yourself by introducing people into your life that don't need to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you got to have the balls to tell these people to just, hey, man, you got to move around, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Gotta
that's
be
what I'm
your own
doing right
leader,
now.
man.
Like, if you're listening right now, I'm telling you, move around. Like, don't contact me because, you know, we ain't on the same level.
Yeah.
You know what
For
I mean?
real,
We
man.
ain't. You know what I mean? We ain't got nothing in common.
Yeah, people like that just bring you down, man. You know what I mean?
Man.
Then they try to get you involved in their problems and shit.
It's not
and
gonna happen,
yeah,
bro.
fuck
Alex,
that.
it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen over here. You know what I'm saying? Because they ain't gonna get that far.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They get stopped over there at the door at the street.
Hell yeah.
You know, don't even come this way, man. Like, for reals, bro. Get your life together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Wicked's been telling you this for how many years? You know what I'm saying? And it ain't about the talk either, guys, right?
It's a walk.
It's the walk.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to put in that work. You know what I'm saying?
It's easier to be a failure and blame everybody than to get up every day, man. 'Cause
Exactly.
when I started trying to get my shit together, man, like it's fucking hard, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to deal with the stereotype shit, and then my record's fucked, and you know what I mean. So yeah, I made my own life hard. I didn't have to do none of this shit. You know what
And
I
I
mean?
agree. You know,
Yeah.
and you were talking about your face tattoos, right?
Yeah,
And it's like, well, you only have you to blame for that.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like that's real talk. You know what I'm saying? Like you decided to get those tattoos, and unfortunately, you're always gonna be stereotyped in that negative way.
And I added more recently. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I mean? But I tattooed for a lot of years, and I'm like, well, fuck you. That's what I'm gonna do forever anyway, right?
You added more negativity to it. Or?
I don't feel like it's negativity because my boy Wedo from La Familia Tattoo. Shout out to Vero and Wedo from La Familia Tattoo out of San Antonio, Texas. He's all it's like his twin. Show him a picture. Show him a picture of Wedo. Like this is your twin. You know
and I've been asking, hey man, you're Wedo, you tattooed? Yeah, you're Wedo, right? Like, nah, you're talking about my son. That's your son. And I was like, your son tattooed? Like, no. I said that we call my son Wedo. You know? And people are like, they're all confused and shit because they thought I was that dude Wedo. I'm like, nah, man. Like,
yeah, man. Y'all are both tattoo artists, and y'all both have y'all's whole face tattooed. And Wedo is a good person. Like I love Wedo. You know, him and Vero and Wedo, they tour Texas. Look, there's Wedo right there.
Does look like you.
Look at him. All tatted up in the face.
Oh, yeah.
I just shaved my beard off too.
You just shaved your beard
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not lying, right? Like that's your twin right there.
Yeah,
but
man.
you know what? Y'all are so much alike in so many ways because y'all are both doing positive things that, you know, with your lives, bro. Those tattoos don't define you.
Yeah, no,
boy,
they
you know
don't.
what I'm saying?
I forget I have them. You know what I mean?
You know, I don't. I see them.
I forget I have them. Like, fuck it, you know.
I'm just looking at every one of them. I'm like, whoa.
I got about 75% of my body covered.
Wow, man. I like ink too myself.
I got a bunch of old school shit. You know what I
Hell
mean?
yeah.
I got a lot of
I dig
crazy
it.
shit.
Well, that's why we were over there at that tattoo shop, right? Did you get tatted up by Spanky?
No. I just I would play online with Spanky Loco on PlayStation.
Really?
Yeah, we would play together for a long time.
Should I show them my tattoo?
Hell yeah.
Spanky Loco did that one right there. And I grew up listening to his music.
Yeah,
as
me
well.
too, man.
So he did that girl right there and the skulls and stuff.
Yeah, I was there when you got that done.
Yeah, and then Juan Gotti did that.
The portraits.
Yeah, the portrait of my son and my wife. So I never wanted to get a tattoo from Juan Gotti. Hey, this is a true story.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't good at all.
Yeah.
Like, he tatted up somebody I know, and I'm like, bro, you got problems letting that man do stuff on you. Like, no way. But then he started posting his artwork online, and I've known Juan Gotti for a long time, right? Like all them guys, I've known him for a long time. And I was like, wow, I was really
He's gotten real
impressed.
good now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was like, hey, Wicked, I'm going to be in San Antonio, man. Let me tattoo you up. And I was like, cool. So I went out there and we got tatted up. And that was the day that we met this guy, right? He's going to be on my album, King Row. And I'm going to talk about him because it's so funny, bro. Like this guy, they call him the SPM impersonator, right? Like he told me things that I couldn't believe.
Yeah.
And I was like, no way. And then he started doing his deal like SPM. And bro, I swear I thought SPM was right there.
No shit.
Without the whole, him being the bad guy, you know what I'm saying? Like he had the voice and everything, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it was really, really interesting to hear some of the things that he had to say about that.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, man, because I told him he asked me a topic about SPM's release. Did he get released?
I don't know, man. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. I'm not into none of that guy stuff, man. Like I'm you know, I told Sweep, I was like, man, I really don't want to talk about none of that stuff, but you know what? I will. Because I'm going to say it like this. When I was describing my life, you know, I was a young kid and there was young girls around me that were doing things that we weren't supposed to be doing, right? Like we were being sexually active and whatnot at a young age.
Yeah.
Now, then you got the big homeboys that would come 19, 20 years old, 21 years old. They got the cars, they got the money, they got the weed, right?
Yeah.
And we're over here 15, 13 years old. We got bicycles, bro.
Being mixed.
We ain't got no money. We're all passing around one little pinner, right? You know what I'm saying? Sharing that shit. You know what I mean? And it's like they come around and they're already doing bad stuff. They're doing bad stuff with us, right? So then here comes this big homeboy and they're like, ooh, he's like, what's up? And they're like, well, what's up? You know, so they go off with him, you know what I mean? Because he has a car and because he has money and you know what I mean? So at what point do you call these girls hoes or victims? You tell me. Because that's what we called them when we used to hang around with them. They were hoes. You know, I know it's a disrespectful term, but that's what it was. You know what I mean? And how can you call, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, when do you differentiate the two, right? Is that the right word?
Like, where do you draw the line?
Yeah. Is she a hoe or is she a victim? It's crazy to say that, right?
It's hard to say because different situations.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you is that these girls and they were my age. I've always been with girls that were my age at that moment. But I'm telling you that all the big homies were doing that.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
And there was no internet and all that stuff, and that was going on. These girls would go with these dudes because they were older and because they had more to offer. So when these guys would come out to my city, they were doing the same thing. So this ain't nothing new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I could speak on it because I was around during that time. And if you got something to say about it, well, then speak on it, bro, because we're going to sit here and be like, what are you talking about? Don't you remember?
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
Yeah, no, that's real, man.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's what it is. So that's my take on that whole SPM deal. So you take it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And life goes on without him.
Yeah, for real.
You know, I feel real bad for a lot of people, man, because I ran into y'all have heard of Dope House, obviously, right? Do you know all the Dope House artists?
I don't know who they are, but
Like
I've
Juan
heard.
Gotti, Rashid, Low G, you got Lucky Luciano.
Yeah.
All these people that are so freaking talented, right?
Didn't one like separate from Dope House recently?
I mean,
I can't remember who it was.
you know,
One Gotti.
Right, something like that. Right?
I mean, you know, it's a funny thing that's going on over there, right? But nonetheless, this is my point I'm trying to make is that when I heard SPM when I was young, I didn't just hear him. I heard all these other guys,
right.
and their music was freaking amazing.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was good.
He did his thing, but these artists, they put their stamp on the music as well. And I'm like, bro, like, okay, once all that stuff happened and you found out, like, none of them felt like they could do it on their own.
Oh wow.
Like, all of them are famous, but none of them are rich. You know, there's a difference. You know, because they're obviously the person that was running the show didn't share the wealth, right? Or just kept everything that, you know, was entitled to him for whatever reason because he was smarter than them. You know, he was the one that made them sign contracts and all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
You know, it's kind of like my crew and I, you know what I mean? If I'm over here, like, working with Sweep, you know, and I'm over here, hey, well, I need you to sign this. And then I go and blow up and I make $1 million and I'm just like, well, you don't get none of it, bro. I already paid you. You know what I mean? I gave you, you know, a couple $100, remember? You know what I mean? Like that to me, that's just not right, bro.
Yeah, it's not. Bro.
You know, we all gonna eat, bro. If I make $1 million off a record and I did it with my boy, we're gonna both be freaking millionaires. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the heck? So when I say that all these guys are famous, but they're not rich.
Yeah.
But they all can stand on their own 2 feet. Now, why don't they? I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I know a lot of companies, man, they'll make you sign a no compete contract. So once you get out of it, you can't really do much. I don't know if they still do that today, but I know back in the days I heard people talking about stuff.
Well, back in the day, you were chilling with your homeboy. That was supposed to be your homeboy.
Yeah, but a lot of companies, like, you know, I
but
guess
that's
like
what I'm
Dope
saying.
House.
He's the company.
I know, but they see his business as business, bro.
But
You know what I
exactly
mean?
though. But
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to tell you. It didn't start off like that. It started off as a group of people that were homies making music together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I
Why,
get
why is one person a millionaire?
Greed, bro.
Exactly.
Greed. That's
But-
what it comes down to. Everything.
And that's perfectly fine. You know what? Let that stuff go. Learn your lesson is all I'm trying to say. It's like, when in life are we gonna learn our lessons by people treating us bad, right? It doesn't matter who it is. Like, when are we gonna learn our lesson? Like, how many chances are you gonna give people? People have done me dirty and have apologized to me recently. Does that mean I'm gonna go backwards?
Yeah, no, you can't, man.
Bro, it's not happening.
You
But
can't.
to them in their little minds, they think that everything's back to normal.
Yeah, they got over on you.
Bro, like, I'm just different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys don't understand me and they never will. You know, what we had and what I gave you was genuine and it was real. And you didn't want it and you ruined it. So now you're realizing, hey, man, I'm sorry. Well, good. I accept your apology because it takes a man to apologize.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I want to be your friend and hang out with you every single day.
Yeah, no,
I'll
yeah,
respectfully, you know what I mean? Hey, how you doing? I see you in the HEB. You know, good to
Yeah.
see you. You know,
Civilized. That's it.
be cordial.
Yeah.
Because who wants to be enemies? I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to live like that, man. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that things go back to the way they were at one point. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. You know, family, that's different, right? I guess.
Yeah.
But like, just
Sometimes.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes. But you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I know exactly what you
like,
mean.
bro,
Yeah,
come on, man.
I live that shit almost every day. You know what I mean?
I go through it a lot.
Yeah.
A lot because of the type of person that I am. But hey, man, you do me wrong, and that other side of me comes out to where I'm like regañándote, like there's a problem already.
Yeah.
Because it should have never got to that. And if it got to that, then you know what, bro? Me and you, we just need to part ways. Because I'm grown now. I ain't got time for this.
Yeah. A lot of things has, like I said, everything goes back to respect, man.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Goes back to respect. You know what I mean?
It goes back to respect and really understanding the person that you're talking to. Like, bro, who are you talking to? Like, you're talking to me. I don't play that phony stuff.
Yeah.
Like, who are you trying to be right now? Like, I'm gonna call you out, bro. Like, I don't want to hang around with clowns.
Yeah.
I don't go to clowns. We go to the circus. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to have clowns in my circle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People that are pretending. Like, people want to make music with me and they want to be over here talking about stuff at 40 years old, right? 43 years old, trying to act like a freaking little.
Yeah, that's weird, bro.
It's freaking funny, bro.
That's one thing when you rap about a tale that happened in your hood,
Yeah.
or like your city, you see things going or stuff you experience, but for you to be sitting there, oh, I'm robbing banks and I'm doing this,
Bro,
shut the fuck
dude,
up,
I'm
man.
telling you, bro, like that shit's goofy, right?
It
and I was
is,
just
man.
like, bro, I had to call you out on it.
That
you know?
with bells, it seems like it's like they'll say just so they can make a buck. or
That's
something,
fine.
You know what I mean?
That's fine, but I'm not gonna be associated with it. That's just me. You know, they want to be around me, bro, but they want to be fake. They want to be a something else that they ain't, and I can't associate myself with that, man. I'm too busy, and I got too many important people that I want to hang around with. You know what I mean? Like I said, I want to be around successful people, and you're not gonna be successful acting like somebody else.
Nah, you won't, bro.
You know, you got to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. You gotta be a man. You gotta have something for your kids to look up to. You know what I'm saying? I feel that strongly. You gotta have skills to pay the bills. You gotta know how to do something.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't know how to do something, what are you teaching your kids, right? Like I was put in a position to actually have meetings with presidents of banks, right? When I started my real estate business, and I would take JT with me. JT's my 12-year-old. He's the baby. I would take him with me to all my meetings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just so he could see what was going down, man. And they're hey, Mr. Salcedo, we want to take you out to lunch today. Different people from banks and stuff like that. They want to give me money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I try to tell my friends, you know, how to, you know, invest and how not to spend their money stupidly. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not something that you want to do.
Yeah.
You know, until you get your stuff together, then you can start doing things that you want. But for right now, you got to do the things that you need. There's a difference between wants and needs.
Yeah, there's a lot of patience, man. You gotta have a lot of patience.
It doesn't happen overnight, bro. It don't. We got to get our credit right.
Yeah.
And we have to have income. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to borrow money from the bank, which people are scared of banks, the banks don't make money if they don't loan you no money.
Yeah.
So they want to loan you money.
So you gotta make yourself the perfect candidate to get that money.
That's it, bro. They're going to tell you, you're going to go to the bank, right? This is what you do. Go to the bank, tell them you want a loan, and they're going to tell you no. And that's okay. But they're going to tell you what you got to do to get it.
Yeah.
It don't get much better than that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, okay, we can't give it to you right now, but this is what you got to do. Now you have a goal. Now you have a plan. Here you go, sir. Go do this. Come back, and we'll give you some money. That simple. You know what I mean? I tell people, like, if you have a home, if you own a home, there's equity in your home, but don't take out the equity out in your home and then go spend it on a vacation, on a gold chain, a new car,
Shoes, clothes, bullshit. That
nah,
you
man.
need,
You know what I mean? Do something that's gonna make money, passive income, right?
Yeah.
If you borrow, like, it doesn't matter how much money you borrow right off your home equity, it's tax free. It's not like you just, like, when we make $100,000, right? We're taxed, you know, for making that money because the government wants their
Oh,
cut.
hell
Or
yeah.
even somebody gives it to you,
Bro,
like, you
exactly.
pay taxes on it.
You know, exactly. But if you go and borrow the equity from your home, it's $100,000. You don't got to pay taxes on that.
Texas.
You know what I'm saying? So go put it into another property and let's start seeing that money come back. So you buy the house cash, right? Let's say you just come up, you're like, because you know you got $100,000 in equity, and you're like, man, somebody's selling their house for $80,000. You're like, and I know it's worth 175 or even 150. The bank's always gonna loan you 80% of the value of that home.
Yeah.
Right. So go and buy that house, refinance it. You own it cash, right? Because you just bought it cash. So now it's your house. Now you go and refinance that house, borrow 80% of the equity on that home, put somebody in there to pay the bill.
And you know what would be fucking badass, bro? If they taught this shit in school.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
You know where they taught me a lot of the stuff that I do know?
Uh-huh.
Is it was in TYC when I went to Terman House, which was a halfway house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my GED over there in Austin, Texas. What is the university over there? with the Longhorns.
UT.
At UT.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was at a halfway house in Austin. When I got out of Brownwood, it was messed up, bro. They put me in a halfway house, right? And the day that I was gonna get released, they're like, Robert, you're not leaving today. We're gonna send you back to Brownwood. So I took off.
Yeah.
And I got more charges.
Ching.
But they messed up. That was like, I did 9 months at the halfway house. And then they were like, I was literally had my bags packed, bro. And they're like, my caseworker comes and tells me, hey, I'm sorry, but you still owed more time because I had escaped from another facility. They were like, you still owed more time. So you got to go back to Brownwood. I know, I'm sorry. It's bad, Robert. We feel for you, but you got to go.
Damn.
And I'm like, the hell I ain't. So I took off, bro. I took off and got back to Corpus and hid out for a while and went on the run. And shoot, man. But when I got caught, you know, they send them bounty hunters for you. You know what I mean? I got caught and I had to go back to Brownwood for even longer.
Ching.
Yeah, man. But yeah, you know, but that halfway house, I'm telling you, man, back then, they were really teaching people stuff, man.
Yeah.
They really were. They were trying to keep us out of the streets. They taught me how to do my taxes. They taught me about a lot of things, man. But I think what really, really pushed me into just being smarter was just the stupidity of everybody around me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There had to be somebody that was going to school these vatos the right way. Because it sure as hell wasn't my big homeboys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's what really pushed me to start really, really being educated. And a lot of my boys now, they're super smart. You know what I mean? Like, they're really, really smart. I feel like sometimes they're way smarter than me in a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? But that's what makes our conversations great now.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real, man.
You know, just me being out just a little bit of time, I noticed, you know, the people now these days, they just throw that word respect out like it's nothing. You know what I mean? And I'm taught that in order to get respect, you gotta, earn that respect.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And to try to be your friend, or you can see right through that right away. And that's what I see in you right now. You're seeing and you're pushing that away from that.
And I do that very well.
Yeah,
I do.
because that respect means a lot to yourself because of what you accomplish doing what you're doing.
That's
You know
right.
what I mean?
And because I feel like if I did it, coming from where I come from, like, why can't they do it, Alex? There's no excuse, bro.
Like I said, it's easier not to and to blame everybody, bro. I've seen that with so many of the homeboys. I mean, we got the same homeboys, man. Same shit, bro. It's always, oh, well, this and that, and they're too busy living the glory days in their mind, and they don't advance, bro, because it's hard, man. Like, even like I said, when I started doing positive thing and try to do things on my own, man, dude, it was very hard for me to do it, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, you fail, you keep the next day, try again. You try again and try again, until you're able to do it yourself, and then you'll start seeing doors start opening up. Because when you start doing greatness comes.
Yep.
But if it was easy, then anybody could do it.
That's absolutely right.
You know what I mean? If it was easy, everybody be doing it.
I think
So.
I get tunnel vision. My wife says,
Yeah.
like, when I put my mind to something, I don't stop.
Yeah.
I go all the way.
When I come up with some idea of doing something, like, I push hard on it, dude.
Yeah.
Push hard on it, and I just keep doing it until it becomes successful.
I think like a lot of us need to really just today, reevaluate your life and the people that are in it, because at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of those people that are in your life, they're the ones that are holding you down, but you're allowing it.
Yeah.
The influence.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, the influence.
Like, you're like, why? Well, there's a lot of influence out there, especially nowadays. You got social media and just not even radio, but like whatever they're listening to influencing their actions as well,
Story that just happened the other day. Young guy, right? He invited me to, like, I support him in his music, right? And he's been doing music since he was a little boy. And I was in the clubs, like all kinds of Royal Rumbles when I was doing my music. All I wanted to do was my music. And all my homeboys wanted to do was fight and get drunk. So I'm out there performing, and then, things start happening, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, what the heck, guys? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? Right? And so, like I said, you're always put in situations don't even have nothing to do with you. So this kid, right, he was out there. His dad took him out to these shows, and he was out there performing, right, since he was a little boy. So I've seen him grow up, and he's still in the music, right? Drippy Drew, shout out to Drippy Drew, right? Yeah, so he was telling me the other day we went to go eat at Candy Andy's. I took after we left your spot, as a matter of fact, my wife wanted something sweet, so we went over there, and Martin hadn't been there, so I took him there. Sweet, his name's Martin. So I took him over there, and I was talking to Drippy Drew, right? Because he's been everywhere, like everywhere I've been performing at and out of town, he's there. So it's really cool, right? And then knowing him since he was a little boy doing it, you know, and his dad recently passed away. You know, shout out to Andy, and and he loved his dad, and I remember seeing his dad take him to these shows, and I got to experience all that, you know what I mean? And I was talking to him, and he was like, "Hey, Wicked, I really think that you should come to this show, you know, that's gonna be at this spot." And I was like, "Bro, whatever you want me to do, dog, I got you, man. What's up? Where's it at?" He goes, "Oh, it's gonna be at the Bridge Club." I said, "Oh no." I said, "No, I'm sorry, man." He's like, "Why?" I said, "Nah, I don't do that stuff no more, man. I don't go to them clubs. I stay in my lane. I'm perfectly okay doing car shows where it's controlled environment. You know what I'm saying? Wow. And families are there, and you know I'm not about that life, man. And I'm not scared to tell them. I'm not scared to tell anybody anything. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what you need to do. You need to take responsibility for your own life and quit letting other people influence you and put you in a situation that's not going to be good for you.
Yeah, that's what I always even tell my kids about stuff like that. Hey, you're in a room full of bad people. What do you think is going to happen?
Come on now.
You know what I mean?
Bro, I don't drink. Well, I don't want to be a bunch of drunk people with my wife.
Yeah, especially with your wife.
Exactly.
You know what I
mean? What's gonna happen, bro?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I'm gonna be upset. So I already know this. I already know this, guys. So why am I gonna go put myself in that situation? You know why I did that? Because I was looking for trouble. Because I was asking for trouble. I was just waiting for somebody to grab my wife's ass. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm taking her to a freaking
brush
club.
up against her, be disrespectful.
That's what they're gonna do. I already know that. They're all drunk. They're there to look at girls and, you know, find one to take home. They don't care who she's with or what, because they think that they got it like that. You know what I mean? I'm better than your man. Like, no, you're not, bro. You ain't never gonna be better than me. You know what I mean? I tell you that right now.
Adds a whole lot of unwanted problems.
Good luck with that. Good luck trying to get my wife. You know what I'm saying? From me. You know what I mean? But you know, that's just what I'm saying is that I had to tell my little homie is that I don't do that, and I don't go to those places. I have no business there, and I'm not gonna be performing in places like that. You know what I'm saying? My music, it may not be for everybody, but it's for somebody. And I said this the other day. I said, for every million people that don't like Wicked One, there's a million that do. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody likes Mariah Carey, right? And Boys to Men. Or you know what they do? They're just scared to admit it.
Yeah.
When they're by themselves, right? They're over there listening to the Backstreet Boys and singing the songs. And bro, I'll sing them in front of you. You know what I'm talking about?
That's the guy Anthony from the last podcast.
I remember those.
Corporal Ziggy, USMC.
So should we answer some? What are they talking about? I got a saying in my family. What is it? How you say that?
Out eat. It says out eat vinium viam out faciam. It's Latin and it means I'll find a way and I'll make one.
Or I'll make one. That's right.
Yeah, that's the only way to do it, man.
Man, dude, I tell you what, man, it's real easy to just follow the crowd, man.
Yeah, it is very easy.
You know, and these guys that I see them, and even going to these shows, you know, somebody told me the other day that there's a person here in our city that represents our city. Like that this person, they said that this person represents our city in the rap music.
Oh wow.
Yeah, broke my heart.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I was like, are you kidding me right now? Because I know this person and I'm like,
yeah, I know who you're talking about.
It was just so horrible to hear that. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, bro, if you feel like this person represents us in this city, like there's a freaking problem. You know what I mean? But I'm here, guys, to represent the positive part of the city, the positive part of the east side, the positive part of Corpitos, and the positive side of the raza. You know what I'm saying? Because I am Chicano, I'm brown to the bone, and I'm not ashamed to be who I am. I speak Spanish. I'm not ashamed to speak it. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be embarrassed. You know, teach your kids. I try to teach my kids as well. They don't want to learn, but, you know, I try to talk to them all the time in Spanish. They's failing Spanish. You know what I mean?
But I've seen their Spanish homework, man, and
that's what I said.
Hold on, man.
Bro,
they don't talk like that. What the fuck?
Yeah, and
That's Spain
and don't
Spanish.
go back to the tribes.
Yeah.
Because each tribe spoke differently,
They
correct?
have different dialects.
So how can they just pick one dialect? And especially being from South Texas, like why didn't they pick the South Texas dialect?
What is South Texas?
You know, just being Texicano or
It's
you know,
it's like proper Spanish. Like nobody talks like this, man.
I've never even heard it. Like my
Yeah.
daughter came home with the home, I'm like, Dad, what is this? I said, I don't know what that is.
That's how we're living.
No Nintendo.
Mexicans.
Yeah.
Mix.
I said, no Nintendo, right?
Yeah.
Some people- Well, yeah, man, I feel you, Alex.
Yeah.
I told her the same. I was like, baby, I don't know what that is. I've never ever heard of that word.
It's just
before.
like how I explain it was to my kids. Is like when you go to Mexico, different parts of Mexico, they speak Spanish slang and they use the slang words more than anything else. And
Yeah.
you can go to one part of Mexico, they'll speak one way. You go to one, but same thing with America. You go to New York, they speak different than what we do down here. You go to Boston, you go to Tennessee, you go to California. Like
Absolutely.
it's English, but it's different. Same thing with Mexico. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The same shit. So.
I think a lot of people, what they would tell me is they're like, they would say, I'm not from around here. They tell me, tú no eres de acá. No sé por qué no. Porque tú hablas diferente en español. Yo, no, pues mi papá me enseñó a hablar español. ¿Dónde era tu papá? De allá de México. And my stepdad, they all talk Spanish. Like all the kids and to this day in Florida, they're little kids. They're talking in Spanish, right? The little kids, like they talk all Spanish.
Awesome.
So that's when I came back to Texas, believe it or not, I was struggling to speak English.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I had been talking Spanish for so long. Now I had to go back to the English speaking stuff because we all talk to Spanish. Our parents talk to us in Spanish. The kids talk to you in Spanish, and that's just what it was.
When I was a kid, I spoke more Spanish than English because my mom's from Mexico and she would just talk to me in Spanish all the time. I remember when I went to kindergarten, they sat with me and they wanted to see if I knew my ABC. They wanted me to talk. If not, they were going to put me in with all the Spanish speaking kids, right? But I passed it, whatever. So they let me be with all the other kids to speak, just regular English and shit. Yeah.
So they were going to segregate you.
Yeah,
right?
they were going to segregate me right away.
We have a lot of segregation going on even today in the world, right? They say that segregation's over, and it's never been over, man.
Wow.
They segregate us every
I don't
single
think
day.
it'll ever stop.
Nah,
You don't
it
think so?
won't.
Me neither. I don't think so at all.
Wow.
I really feel like, people are segregating themselves and they don't even know because they're uneducated. Their parents are not teaching them jack shit.
What's one of the ways it's happening now? Do you think?
I mean, this country's a mixing pot of all different kind of cultures.
Yep.
So that's why it's never going to get.
Because everybody's different
the
culture.
point.
I'll give you one example. Black cop, Mexican cop, white cop. Why can't I just be a cop? Like I hate everybody equally, right? I don't like ugly. Like I'm not a racist person, you know what I'm saying? Like when the way I grew up, like here in Corpus, we hung around with black people. So when I went to TYC, it was about race, right? And it was like them dudes from Houston, they had a different vibe, you know what I mean? They had a whole nother movement going on over there, and they were real racial, and like we weren't like that, right? Where I was at,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like at Winshield and stuff like that, we hung around black. I played basketball with them and all that stuff. So what I'm trying to say is that I don't feel like as human beings, that's what we are. We're human beings. I wasn't born in Mexico, bro. I was born in the United States of America. And so was that black boy, and so was that white boy. You know what I mean? We're all born in America. So we're all humans in my book, right? Do we come from different, ancestries and all that? Yeah, I guess so, right? Because that's what they're telling us. But I wouldn't know if I wasn't told that. If he didn't teach me the history, I wouldn't know it. You know what I mean? The books told us what we needed to know, allegedly, right? That's the way it went.
Oh wow.
Right? But what are we really? Humans. We're human beings, bro. You know what I'm saying? People. We're all the same. We're all equal. There's black, white, Asians that grow up poor, that grow up in the ghettos, they gang bang, they deal drugs. So what's different? The way they look. You got a goatee, I don't. You know what I'm saying? The segregation right now that's happening is between gangs. Is between what do you got? You got the hipsters. You got the people that are gothic.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of segregation going on. It's just they just don't see it.
Yeah.
They're segregating themselves.
And the breeding of this segregation is being taught inside the prison systems, the juvenile halls, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know? And it breeds and it comes out, and it just never goes away.
They segregate you in there.
Breeding like meanings. What do you mean? Keeping.
Keeping the racism alive. and
Oh,
breathing.
oh, breeding like keeping it going.
Yes.
Like, this is where the black people eat. This is where the Mexicans eat. This is where the white boys eat.
Right on. Okay, I got you.
You can't go in a restaurant like we got a mixture of people.
Yeah.
They breed them into coming out like that. You know?
Wow.
It's bad, bro. Don't go to prison. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're almost out of time.
Are
bro.
we really?
Yeah.
Man. Hey, I want to give a shout out to some people before we close it out. So, you know, there's been a lot of people that have been helping me, Alex, like in my whole music career right now, as far as like getting it out there, including yourself. So, you know, the Weagle tour, Raymond at the Weagle tour, Luis at the Lolo car show, you know, that put me on, you know, shout out to my boys, you know, Scagnetti, Sweet, my brother Mike and Ike, Jay Lorraine. You know, you guys go download Better Days, you know what I mean? Go stream it, you know what I mean? Because it's free. So go ahead and go get that going, you know what I mean? We got a lot of good things going. Shout out to John Herrera, my good friend, you know, who come to help me out with making live music, you know what I mean? With live instruments and stuff like that. John Wavera from H-Town, you know, for calling and putting me on all these shows. Drippy Drew, you know what I mean? Shout out to my boy Jez Latino, D-Rock, the Rap Hippie, Rashid, Big Crete. All people showing me love. Chino 818, of course, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were
Chino.
bumping his album all the way to San Antonio, man. It was really good.
Yeah.
My primo Losi, Beautiful Monsters. Those are who producing my one of my albums that I'm working on right now. They're out the valley. My boy Lazy J, Smoke, Too Swift from LA. And I just want to say, guys, that, you know, we want justice for Araya. That's my boy Lazy, his daughter that was murdered.
Yeah.
And on her birthday, they're gonna be deciding if this guy's tried as an adult. You know, he murdered my, you know, my boy's baby girl, his only daughter. You know what I mean? For no reason. So, you know, we want justice for Araya, and y'all pray for my boy and pray for her soul, and hope everything goes right, guys. And shout out to La Familia Tattoo out of San Antonio, Texas. Shout out to my boy, you know what I mean, Alex, for putting me on and giving me a great meal.
Hell yeah.
It was overwhelming.
What did you eat? What did you eat?
It was a triple meat with freaking, what is it called? Triple meat with bacon.
Oh,
with
the
brisket.
Thirdzilla.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that thing was serious, man.
That's a big burger, man. Did you finish it?
Yeah, dude. I'm a big boy. I ate it all.
But you could move after that.
Hey,
huh?
but let me tell you, I was talking about your restaurant at work, right? Shout out to the Turner crew over at Comores Plant, right? And they're like, "Oh man, I've heard of that place." And man, how was it? They go, "Man, I want to go." And I go, "Everybody's talking about you, bro."
Yeah.
Yeah, they're talking
Thank
about you. And I'm like, "Yeah, that's my homeboy." They're like, "Man, hey Rob, you know everybody." And I'm like, "Yeah, I do. I know."
But we know each other from back in the days.
Absolutely,
That's crazy, man.
Well, I want to know all the people that are doing things with their life.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're in my life, it's because you're doing something.
Yeah, man.
And I'm very proud of you, my boy.
Yeah,
you know what I
appreciate it,
mean?
man. I love you, bro.
I appreciate you, and I love you too, my carnal. And I, man, I can't say it enough, my boy. Keep up the hard work.
Yeah, got to, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Thank you very much.
Hey,
It
brother.
was very nice meeting you.
Likewise.
My boy over here. Shout out to you, man. Thank you guys for having me on the show. Hopefully we'll be back soon.
Yeah, I'll get you back in a couple months when we see your progress, man. See how you're
Absolutely,
doing, bro.
because it's gonna get crazy around here. You know
Hell
what I mean?
yeah.
Because we need a new representation in Corpito.
Yeah, for real,
You know what I
man.
mean? For what I heard, guys, come on now.
When are you gonna play here?
Here in Corpus,
Yes.
I actually was able to perform at the Bank Center just past at the car show, but we're working on something. You know what I mean, to where we can do something real nice for the
For the end of the year?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
All right, man. We're gonna go ahead and end it. Man, thanks a lot, Wicked, man.
Yes, sir.
Badass, man. Y'all have a good night. We'll see you next week.
Peace, guys.
Your host, ElVago, owner, operator of ElVagoburgerandbbq, located at 4701 Banana Drive, Motown, Texas, Molina neighborhood.
Welcome to the Volo podcast, home of the black sheep and the outcast. Welcome to the Volo podcast, no cap, true stories, what you know about that. Welcome to the Volo podcast, home of the black sheep and the outcast. Welcome to the Volo podcast, no cap, true stories, what you know about that.